You're listening to Openline.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Openline. My name's Tami Heidi, and my guest is Dan Knapp, CEO of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, CCLB. So thanks for joining us. Dan, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
I was going to say adequate, but in these challenging times, I'm going to say I'm doing well.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. But there's always room for improvement, and I know that the Conservation Corps does things to improve the lives of young people. So let's talk about that, and specifically what's going on with the Conservation Corps of Long Beach right now during this pandemic, during these, like you said, unsettling times, challenging times. I've written down a list of what these times are.
Well, don't put your pencil down.
I won't.
I'm trying to do the same thing. We're doing our best job we can to plan. We find that we're actually reacting more than we're planning these days. So again, thanks for having us. Conservation Corps of Long Beach, we're one of 14 conservation corps in the state of California. There's corps in all the urban areas, and there's the state corps. And we're part of a larger national movement where there's over 100 conservation corps nationwide in the United States, and there's also programs internationally as well. Kind of like the domestic Peace Corps, as some folks look at the corps. Conservation Corps of Long Beach, our primary geography is the greater Long Beach community in Southern California. So Long Beach up to, Downey, Southgate, Bell Gardens, Lakewood, as well as what we've done quite a bit of work recently in the Channel Islands, Catalina Island, and as well as some of the other Channel Islands. And we're also doing work up in the Angeles National Forest as well as the Cleveland National Forest. So
You get around.
Oh, yeah. Well, as a conservation corps, people always ask me, what is a conservation corps? Conservation's, the name in our title. But we're primary youth development organizations. We focus on bringing young people through our doors to do good work in the community and beyond. So our target population is 18 to 25-year-olds. Young folks come to us as their first job. Young folks come to us if they've dropped out of high school and they want a second chance. We have a high school program that's affiliated with our corps and every other corps in the state.
So people can get their high school diploma if they haven't finished that yet. That's a good jumping off point for young people to get a start and start adulting, I guess, right?
That's a great point, Tami. Is that our average age is 20 years old. Somebody comes with us, they're 20 years old, they dropped out of high school, they don't know where to turn. At 20, they have their lives completely in front of them still. So you can get your high school diploma while you're with us. You can go to work and you can get job skills and you can do great work in your community, urban forestry, planting trees, developing community gardens, habitat restoration, doing fire mitigation work in the urban wildland interface. That's what we're doing in the Angeles National Forest, trying to make sure that this fire season this year is addressed as best as we can, and we're as prepared as we possibly can here in Southern California. But you're also going to get your high school diploma. If you have your high school diploma and you join the Corps, you still got to go to school. So part of our criteria is you got to be enrolled in a local community college. We actually have several of our folks are at local universities at Cal State Dominguez Hills, Long Beach State. We have some members that are both at those two institutions, as well as Long Beach City College, Cerritos College. But if the traditional academic pathway is not your bag, you can go through our vocational training program, for workforce development in regards to the building trades. You can get, we have, for example, we partner with Grid Alternatives, which is a solar installation program for low-income housing. You can get your solar certification through us. You can get your pre-apprenticeship construction training through us. You can get your, we have a few folks that are at with the local union with the IBW, with their getting their electrical contractors education, what have you. So it's a little bit of everything. It's not just a job. It's not just school. It's a little bit of everything. Very holistic, our approach to youth development.
Well, it's life skills that are going to serve you and serve the community, which I think is probably part of the point too, right?
Absolutely. I think that's, especially right now, is that we find that we have a lot of young folks coming through our doors who want to serve, who want to contribute, who want to do make a positive change in their community during these trying times. So early on, when the pandemic first kind of broke in this country, we were working with the city of Long Beach, establishing testing facilities, establishing triage centers. We actually helped set up makeshift hospital at the Long Beach Arena. We were working with the city of Southgate, doing some sanitation work, trying to make sure that, the parks and open spaces are safe for folks to recreate. And we find that a lot of young folks have been coming to us because they want to contribute. They want to make a difference in their community. And as we all know, nobody's immune to this disease, but the population that we serve is probably the most resilient. And so we've had, food banks, and we've had, food distribution centers that are traditionally managed by retirees or folks, who are giving back at the later in life, who are also the most vulnerable. So we've had our folks doing a lot of that work as well. So I couldn't be prouder to be affiliated, and I couldn't be prouder of the young folks that are walking through our doors who want to give back to their community.
Yes, that is heartening, very heartening to see. We're talking to CEO Dan Knapp of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, and like he said, they serve 18 to 25-year-olds primarily, at-risk youth, and work, service, conservation, education. And you talked about some of the things you've been doing, and especially during the pandemic, delivering meals and groceries to elderly in Long Beach was part of the Corps' recent work.
Exactly. And again, I like to say I've been doing this Conservation Corps thing for quite a while now. I started at the Los Angeles Conservation Corps, was there for almost 19 years. And I like to say that I didn't just drink the Kool-Aid, I guzzled it. I believe in the movement. I can't think of a more holistic approach to society's ills as a Conservation Corps. So, for example, there was the civil unrest, recent civil unrest, the protests. Our young folks, our staff are out there protesting, out there supporting everything that we stand for as an organization. And however, on Monday morning, I'm trying to look at my calendar here, after there was considerable looting and vandalism in Long Beach, our folks were out there at 7 a.m. the next morning cleaning up. And not just our folks. I mean, it was really empowering. It was really humbling to see the community come together and folks just coming in and cleaning up and trying to
be good neighbors, be good citizens.
Exactly. We were still boarding up, helping local businesses board up their storefronts as of last Thursday. So, like I said, I could not be proud of our young folks. They're the future. It sounds trite and sounds kind of a cliche, but we have so many great leaders that are coming through our doors, and they're just looking for that conduit, that venue, to jump off and do the right thing.
Yeah, a way to channel this. It's like, okay, I can help. I know I can do something. And so the Conservation Corps kind of helps to, like I said, channel that. That's great. So how do people get involved? And I wanted to talk about, you mentioned some of the programs, habitat restoration, recycling, community beautification, and animal care services. And that's something that I'm certain interests a lot of our listeners and just the community in general. And in fact, I know that a lot of pets, some animal shelters are empty because, people were staying home and taking time to adopt an animal. So
it's funny you say that, Tami, is that's the one program that actually, I don't mean to laugh, but it's on hiatus for that very reason. So we have a great relationship with the city of Long Beach. We have an internship program. So we have interns working for the animal care department. We have interns working for the public works department, for the parks. We have interns working for city of Southgate parks, other municipal partners that we have. But because the adoption rate has gone up so high, and so many folks are also fostering animals, we actually said, the city came back and said, we don't need help right now. And that's the irony of the world we live in today.
That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. So we've shifted to move those folks that were working with animal care are now working with the beaches and the marine division here in Long Beach to make sure that the proper sanitation is being taken care of. And also, we're looking at helping the city remind folks to social distance when they're out recreating in public.
Exactly. Well, Dan Knapp, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us on Openline. Dan Knapp is the CEO of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, CCLB. And how can people get involved, find out more information, sign up?
Probably the easiest way, Tami, is to our website. It's CCLB dash, that's a hyphen Corps, CORPS, don't forget the S at the end, .org. So we have folks trying trying to get into this program all the time. The only limiting factor is, the projects and the work that we do in the community. So obviously we're working with our local legislators, working with local communities to make sure that there is that conduit and there is a venue for our folks to get involved and do good work. So just on one last note, we're building a couple new parks in the greater Long Beach area, one in Signal Hill, one in the city of Long Beach. We have a really cool urban lumberjack program that we got a grant from the California Department of CAL FIRE, where we're actually going to take the dead and dying trees within the city that need to be removed because they're a hazard and repurposing that lumber, park furniture, things like that. And that's an exciting program that we got going on. And we're going to be doing a river ranger type program with the Rivers and Mountains Conservancy and other entities on the lower Los Angeles River. So a lot happening here, a lot of opportunity for folks to get involved. If you have an interest in, ecology, restoration, urban planning, urban forestry, and just want to get involved and help your community, look us up.
Okay, great. Conservation Corps of Long Beach, Dan Knapp, thanks again for being on Open Line.
Thanks for having us, Tami.
Open Line with Tami Heidi.